400 yards as a unit. Granted, Matt Scheibel and Levi Terrell leading the way as you expected to, but talk about how Ron Coleman, the freshman fullback, was important to moving the chains tonight.
Well, one, he's a great blocker, and he's a kid that's still learning. He ran the ball extremely well, especially when we went into our 4-minute type of a mindset to eat up the clock. You notice he made up quite a few very important first downs. I think our offensive line is starting to get gelled, you know. I mean, you do have to understand and remember that it's still 4 new starters on that offensive line, and I think they're starting to come around. I think they're making progress.
One of the big plays of the game was the long run by Terrell before the half that just missed going into the end zone, and your center and your left guard made a big hole, and I think that leads to the progress of this new offensive line.
Yeah, now that was Celestine that made that big run, and that was a great run. We're still using a couple more backs back there, but we put him in, and I thought he did. That was a great run, and but the offensive line, the center, the left guard, those are 2 guys that really weren't starters last year, but they did get a fair amount of playing time. And, you know, you got to take your hat off to Shiloh, too. I thought he made some very good checks up there on the front and put us in the right offensive plays.
Is Shiloh ever debate you with some of the stuff he does? I mean, this is one of his better games, I would think. I know this statistically, 160-something yards of rushing.
Well, I got him at 175.
175.
Yeah, I guess it's net 161, yeah. Well, you know, I think I've told you guys, I thought he was special when I met him in the principal's office. When we were recruiting him, I went by the high school, you know, and I thought he was special then. You know, you just feel some people. And the kid, he works just the way you see him working in a game is exactly the same way he works every single play in practice. So, you know, he's just one of those special people.
Defensively, I noticed you made some adjustments as the game wore on because you saw how the pistol type offense that Eastern was running was kind of wearing you down a little bit, that sort of modified no huddle. Was it more of being able to anticipate the snap count?
Well, we made a couple changes. We sped them up a little bit with their decision making. And I thought we did a nice job, especially in that third quarter defensively, to make the adjustments at halftime and come out and execute them. I thought that was an important part of it, where they nickel and dimed us, but there were certain plays that were bothering us, and we were able to make them have to do some other things.
Another key portion of this, you had 5 drives this evening of at least 50 yards. Including a 93-yard drive in the third that pretty much told everybody that this offense is a very well-oiled machine. Talk about being able to sustain that type of drive throughout the night.
Well, you know, the big thing with us is we've got to make sure that we move the chains. That's still the best defense in the world, is the defense that's on the sideline. So we didn't take as many big shots as far as deep balls and things like that in this game. We wanted to, at that point, keep the offense on the field, wear their defense out, keep our defense fresh for the stretch run. So we hit a couple big plays. You know, Foster's still catching those big plays. He made 2 spectacular catches tonight for touchdowns. And, you know, but we just have to stay on the field offensively. That's just our philosophy.
You take away the 2 long kickoff returns, and they didn't really score that many touchdowns with their offense. Second half especially, so your defense was pretty good. Yeah,
we made some improvements.
Yeah.
You know, we made some improvements there, and then we went and had a field goal block, so we got to work on that. We've got a kickoff return for a touchdown, got to work on that. So there's always something.
Quite a game though tonight. I mean, it was going back and forth for a while.
Well, just before the half alone was pretty interesting in 2 plays. You know, we go screaming down there and score, and then we kick the ball off to them, and they go right back and score again. And so, you know, but we all know, you guys been around long enough. This league, I mean, we're not going to have games that aren't close. That's just the way this league is. And the league has gotten so much better. Every single team right now is a coin toss.
One more question?
Another double-digit night for Lake Pike for defense, got his first career sack. And it seems that the team is starting to feed off of him, as well as Blanford, and well, some of the other upperclassmen that have made their way through the program. And it looks like the defense is starting to hit their stride as well, despite the fact of the very close game.
Well, you know, they're getting better. I wouldn't say I was disappointed last week, but I thought we could have done better. I thought the kids came out with a little bit different mindset in practice, and it showed in the game.